What's up, everybody? Welcome to 3D Rivals, your first line of defense against stupid movies. My name is DJ, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, my sister Dana.
What's up?
And my brother Derek.
What's up?
And our friend Dan.
What's going on?
And this week, we're going to be talking about the murder on the Orient Express.
He looked at you when he said,
What?
my sister. Then he went back down.
Yeah, he did.
I don't.
I
look
just
at
let
him
it
when
ride.
when he does the introductions.
Why? He loses it.
Can't
keep it together.
Messing up.
Yeah, you know, you guys always talk about the intros, but I've seen each and every one of you try to do the intro and fail
So
at
let's
it.
be clear.
did
When
we
we
fail?
have to do the intro, is because you are not here at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you need
So
time
we
to
had
prepare
no
the
time
intro.
to prepare our intro.
Yeah, we have to prepare.
Yeah, we didn't do the walkthrough.
Honestly, I think we did pretty good.
I would say yes.
I've listened to your intros.
I think you're being biased.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you are.
Says the person who doesn't even do it right half the time.
First of all, I
Yeah, you do it the most of the time.
because I've
And then
created the
you
intro.
mess it up.
Whatever
most of the
intro
time.
I do is right.
Is it though?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's my intro.
You say so.
Um, so we're going to be talking about the murder on the Orient Express, 2009,
2017.
17.
Yeah,
Yeah.
17.
Sorry, my bad. I watched Star Trek first, which was 2009.
Yeah, Star Trek was 2009.
Yeah, I told you that. So you guys want to be watching like William Shatner or something. Like she said, Star Trek.
True. And she said Star Trek.
True.
So yeah, and the audience is confused. Originally, we were going to review Star Trek, and now we're doing Murder on the
Well, I
Orient
changed
Express.
it because apparently there was a game that came out last week.
Oh, is there a Murder on the Orient Express game?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, well, we should watch the movie.
Is
Oh,
it like
really?
L.A. Noir?
Right.
Not quite. There's like puzzles, and you interview people, then be like, you know, what did the
Press
person
X for
say?
doubt. Sorry. What? That's L.A. Noir. Which I've yet to play. I gotta play it again.
Really?
Yeah.
I own it. We should do that.
All right.
Oh, yeah,
we should. We should.
All right. So, Murder on the Orient Express. There's a train. Someone died on it, and they have to figure out who killed them.
That is basically the story.
That is the entire story.
It is. It is. The train did derail, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So
they're chopped
that
on
gave
the
them
train.
time to actually, solve the murder
The
mystery.
Yeah, have their little tea parties and stuff outside the train in the cold snow.
yeah.
Why? I don't know, but okay.
Yeah.
Didn't understand that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, why can't you?
Yeah, like why are we
Interview
doing this
in
outside?
the inside?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, inside the train.
Yeah.
Where the wind's not blowing. It's not as cold.
He wanted to catch her off guard.
Like
Lower her
freezing her to
defenses.
death?
Yes.
freezing her to death.
Just didn't make
Indeed.
any
Okay.
sense.
But anyway, so we had
Sounds
the
like
main characters,
torture.
Hercule
Perot.
Pedro.
Perot?
Perot. Is it Perot?
Yeah, the T is silent.
The
for sure.
T is definitely silent.
I feel like we're butchering that last
You
name.
probably are.
Probably.
But Hercule, he's
Mhm.
our detective, and we start the movie by seeing him do his little detectiving in the Middle East. I don't know, where were they?
The
Is
Wailing Wall.
Jerusalem.
Yeah.
It was in
Jerusalem?
Jerusalem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know, he had to solve a little mystery, and then we're like, oh, and I was like, oh, he's like a Sherlock Holmes type of guy.
Mhm.
Yes,
Okay, because I never read this book.
Me either.
I did.
You did,
Of course.
Of course. I was gonna say, of course she has.
which is fine. Reading is good.
Reading is fundamental.
Thank you. I was gonna say that.
Yeah, reading is
She
fundamental.
was gonna. Okay. Of course you would. You
Yeah,
would
of
say
course she
reading.
was. See what I mean? Yeah. See.
No, reading is good. So I didn't know the story at all going into this.
Okay.
Neither did I.
But I don't know. There's not a lot to mention about the synopsis of this movie. It's basically that, like, you know.
Well, I
a
mean,
guy-
what I was just basically telling the whole thing.
yeah.
Which is, the guy who gets murdered, which is Edward Ratchet. Which, by the way, like obviously that's the guy you're going to kill. His last name was Ratchet.
Yeah. Well, you watch it.
Yeah, let's kill him.
Yeah. Edward Ratchet.
Played by Johnny Depp.
Yes. So there's a few things. Like one, they're saying it's in the middle of winter. The train is crowded than it would normally be at this time.
Train is Crowder.
I know. I know.
More crowded it is.
No, crowdeder.
Crowdeder? Yes.
Crowdeder.
Yeah, it's more crowded.
It's more crowdeder.
It's fuller is the
Yes.
word that it should have
Okay,
been.
there you go.
Yeah.
Just avoid it all.
More
full.
More fullerist.
More fullerist.
And this is from the person who reads.
Yeah, she reads all the time. Have you ever seen these words in books?
Probably have. Look, every book I read is not a masterpiece. So it's fuller than normal. You know, Edward's like, people after me. You got to protect me. Bruh basically literally said, I don't like your face.
He did. He
Yeah,
said
he did
those
say that.
words. He said,
Yeah, he
I
said
don't
that.
like your face.
Which is great because I feel like I wouldn't say that to people.
Yeah. No, you know what? I kind of
It
feel...
depends on the person.
So, yeah, he comes up to Hercule. I'm just going to call him that because
Mhm.
I can't pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
So,
Good
he
enough.
comes up to him and like, I need protection because someone's trying to kill me because he's been getting death threats.
Mhm.
And I agree with Hercule at that point. I would have said no too, because basically he's like, oh, my job is an art dealer. Basically, I sell fake art to people or
Mhm.
fake antiques to people, and then they're mad at me for doing it. And I'm like, well, I'm not
Like,
protecting you,
well.
bro.
Yeah, I feel like I might have not went into the whole I be ripping people off.
Yeah,
You should
probably
help
want to
me
leave that out.
Like you might, yeah, like leave that part out.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe he felt like he had enough pull or was scary enough because you know he like flashed his gun at him, and
Yeah, he had it on the table, and Hercule was like, yeah,
It's like, don't point your gun at me.
Yeah.
And he was eating his cake.
Oh yeah.
Not in the way that like, no, he had cake.
I forgot that was a slang term.
Yeah.
He had cake, and I guess they were eating the same cake.
yeah.
No. So he offered part of his cake in order to sit down with him.
Oh,
It's
okay,
like,
yeah,
man,
okay.
See, now that you say that, now that's.
Y'all are the only ones thinking like this.
I wouldn't
I
have, but
doubt
you
it.
mentioned it, and so now,
I doubt it. But
now
okay.
it sounds bad.
No, it looked like cubed ramen noodles on the screen.
What
I'm
kind
like,
of cake was
what kind of
that?
cake is this?
I don't know.
It's really important.
It's important. What kind of cake is this?
Okay.
It's
All
ramen
right,
noodle
go
cake.
Go ahead, Dana. I'm sorry.
Something they make in prison.
So, so the detective says, "Nah, I'm not feeling you. I want no part of your nonsense."
Mm.
That night, the guy dies.
Yeah.
Finds him in his room, and so now because there's only 12 people in this car, one of those 12 people has to be the murderer.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
he was stabbed.
how many
How many
times?
times was he stabbed?
12.
He was stabbed 12 times.
Yes.
Mhm.
Hint, I guess.
Yes.
All right. So, in watching this movie,
Mhm.
I was kind of right with my answer. I guess everybody would be, but I feel like my answer was kind of more right. Because throughout the movie, I was just like, it's Michelle Pfeiffer's character. Just like, as I'm watching it, I was like, it was her.
Because she was
She
a-
just seems
I was
so
like,
She was
fake.
extra.
I was
was
like,
so
she
extra.
murdered him.
Yeah, she seems so fake.
Obviously. And yeah, every time she came up, I'm like, I was like, she did it.
Yeah.
She did it. And he's like, this is just a conundrum. I'm like, no, it's not. She killed him. It's not a conundrum. I figured it out.
You know what I feel like this movie kind of lacks is that it didn't really like I felt like I liked how it was shot, the camera angles, some of the shots that they did, like those long pan shots.
Very well
Right.
shot.
I thought that was
Mhm.
great or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like they didn't do enough to kind of pull you into the story, whereas like I'm trying to figure out who the murderer is.
Mm.
I feel like that wasn't done well enough.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I was extremely bored watching this.
It is a
movie.
boring movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the story is good. I think it's a well-written story.
It just wasn't
It's
executed
just
well.
boring.
Yeah, I did have to keep rewinding it a couple times because I zoned
Yeah.
out
Yeah.
a few times. I'm like, wait, hold on, what happened? Or
Well,
was I
you
off
guys,
it?
before we started the podcast, mentioned a line, and I was like, oh, did he say that?
Yeah.
My bad.
There were some good lines in here like that he said. Like
Mhm.
his character was very very intelligent for
You're
one
talking
thing.
about Hercule.
Hercule.
Yes.
Like, and that's the thing. Like individually, I thought his character was fine. I thought everyone else was fine. It's just
Mhm.
putting it all together just didn't make me feel like I was trying to solve this murder with them.
That's what it
Yeah.
was. I wasn't trying to. I don't know. When watching like the Sherlock show or Sherlock
Mhm.
movies,
Mhm.
or we watched another murder mystery,
Knives Out.
Knives Out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Knives Out.
Well, Knives Out told you the answer.
Yeah, but you still had to
Psycho?
go through to get to it.
Yeah. Well, I
Figure out
guess we
exactly
watched-
how
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
happened.
It's like it gave you the
How did it
answer, but
happen?
now you're watching to see
But even
how
I mean,
it got to the answer.
But
Yeah,
before
like there's a
they gave
TV
the
show like that where
answer-
they show you who the murderer is, but then they kind of backtrack and show you how it happened. It's like a TV show or something.
Yeah.
I don't want to say Cold Case. No, it's not Cold
No,
Case.
it's not Cold Case.
No,
Cold
but
Case, you
there
don't
is a
know what it
TV
is.
show. You
That's
are
why it's
right
cold.
though.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah, and it sounds like
It is.
it sounds
'Cause
like
if
something
the
me
show
and you
opens
may
up-
have watched.
It opens up with you seeing the murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then it goes, yeah, what is the name of that show? It didn't last long.
No, I didn't.
Minority Report.
What?
No, it wasn't.
No, please no. No.
Wow.
They had a old girl in there. Megan Good was in that show.
Really?
Yeah, she was the main character.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I missed that.
Okay.
Mm.
That's probably why it didn't work.
No, it only lasted like half a season. Really.
Wow.
Didn't get past the pilot.
No. So, yeah, I agree with that. Like, I wasn't, I don't know, involved in the movie.
It didn't pull you into the story.
Yeah.
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 Like, even though there were so many people like trying to misdirect you, I never really felt like, oh, maybe it's this person or maybe now it's this person.
Mhm.
They just didn't do that part well.
No, yeah, clearly I was like, it's Michelle Pfeiffer. And at the end, I turned out to be wrong/right, but
Yeah.
that's
you were
why-
1/12 right.
I know. I still feel like I was a bit more right with her.
He wants to come out
Because she planned it all.
Yes. Look,
Okay,
okay,
okay.
we're getting to the answer. I'm
Oh, yeah,
telling
we're getting
people
ahead.
What the answer
We're getting
is.
ahead. She didn't plan anything. She wasn't even in the movie. I don't even know what you're talking
No, nothing.
about.
I mean, can we really spoil a book that came out like?
Yeah, I
How
haven't
many
read
of
it.
our listeners read the book?
You don't know. I read the book.
It. The chances are.
I don't know. There's not a lot to
Slim.
talk about in between, so they all did it.
We can at least build up to that point.
Oh my
Okay, let's
bad.
build up to it.
The
So-
movie didn't
so
build up to
nobody
it. What are you
did.
talking
The
about?
movie did not build up to it.
They didn't build up to it.
That's what
They
we
really
were
didn't.
getting to.
At
That
first
the movie
they-
did not build up.
Yeah, it
To
really
the
didn't. build
climax.
up
At
to
first,
it.
they blamed Daisy Ridley's character, which I was surprised by. I was like, "Oh man, I was wrong." And then he like threw it out there, and I was like, "Oh, that makes sense. She did it." And then the black
Mhm.
guy comes in and says,
Mhm.
"Like, oh no, I did it." But then
Mhm.
I immediately knew he didn't because he was a sharpshooter and he shot at him
And he
and
missed.
he missed.
Mhm.
And I was like, that doesn't make any sense.
Right.
And then they mentioned it in the movie, and I'm like, yeah, of course. I'm like, that didn't make any sense at all. Like,
No.
you were a sharpshooter.
Yeah, you missed him. You were not that far from
That
him.
was your job in the army.
It didn't say he was good at his job.
I'm gonna say you guys lost that war.
Nah, man, nah.
No, you cannot use the word sharpshooter and not be a good one.
Like, if you're not good at it,
then you're not a sharp.
then you're not a
shooter.
sharpshooter.
You're just a shooter.
Right, you're just a shooter.
Like, come on,
Or a
man.
stormtrooper.
They shoot each other more than anything else. Looney Tunes.
I want to like pause the Star Wars movie to see like what they're aiming at, because like you never think like the lasers be going all around the back, the Jedi or whatever.
The
but
recoil on those
never,
guns must be
like, towards
crazy. The recoil is crazy.
So yeah, so like I was like, oh man, okay, and then I was just like, but then that can't be right, and I'm like, no, it's definitely Michelle Pfeiffer's character, but then it turns out it was all of them.
Mhm.
But they kind of gave that away too, even though I technically didn't figure it out. But I
Mhm.
did think it was weird as he was interviewing people that everyone has some sort of connection to
Yeah, to
Yeah.
that Armstrong thing
Yeah.
with the baby.
because Ratchet really is a fake name, is an alias for the guy. I forgot it was Chiletti
Cassetti.
or something.
Cassetti.
Cassetti. Tape Cassetti.
What did you say?
His name is Tape Cassetti.
His name is Tape Cassetti.
Oh.
So backwards it would be Cassetti tape. Cassetti, comma tape. That works.
So he murdered a kid.
Yes.
in the
Which
past.
is really dark.
Yes.
Which I'm like, gee, why? No, they never
that
explain
I
why he
don't
went
know.
over there and just
Y'all
murdered
don't
that
know
kid.
where they pulled this story from?
No.
I'm gonna need y'all to start reading.
Why?
What? Why am I supposed to know some past? Okay, tell us, please.
Because it's an infamous case. It's based off of the Lindenberg baby. This guy was an aviator, and his baby got kidnapped, who was almost like 2 years old, and they paid the ransom, and the guy killed the baby anyways. This is a real thing. Are you deaf? Why is that so loud?
I think it just echoes because,
It's supposed to be quiet.
I'm gonna leave that in so so people listening think they're phone off. They're like, huh?
Probably
Wait,
will.
what
Wait,
did it-
hold on. Oh, like siren sounds on songs.
Like, whoop, whoop, oh.
Songs.
It's the song from this gangster rap I'm listening to.
It's gangster rap.
The guy in the song got pulled over.
Mhm. You know, you listen to Baby Shark with police sirens in the back.
Like, how does it relate?
So the Lindenberg baby?
Yes.
No, okay, so that has nothing to do with reading. Me knowing that case or not doesn't have anything to do
I
with
just
me
feel
reading.
like everyone should know this.
Why? Was this
I
a
don't think
case
so.
in the UK?
Will it help me to protect my babies in the future?
Where was the Lindenberg
I'm
case?
pretty sure this was from.
It was in Lindenberg.
I'm gonna
Oh,
go.
I said Hindenburg?
Yeah.
Oh. We know what happened there. But okay, like, am I supposed to know every giant case in the U.S.?
I just feel like I knew it, so.
I know Plessy versus Ferguson. Does that count for anything?
I ain't know the case.
Yeah, I know a case.
All right, so he kidnapped a kid,
New
got the
Jersey.
ransom, then killed him. New Jersey, got you.
Yeah.
All right,
Does it say his motive for killing the baby?
The money.
the money.
Oh, just the money.
But he got the money.
Yeah, but why did he kill the baby still?
Because I guess he's just an evil person.
I mean, he didn't understand how kidnappings work. See, after you get the money, you release
you
the person.
release the baby.
Yeah.
Like that's how that works. He didn't read the kidnapping manual
he didn't read it.
properly. Obviously,
You know, always read the instructions. Don't throw them away. Read them.
okay, so I found it weird that everyone had a connection to this case.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like as he's going through, it's like, oh, this is her sister, or this is the maid, or this is the lawyer, and I'm like, why is everyone like how? I'm like, what are the
Yeah,
coincidences
like, what are the
that
odds?
like
Yeah.
you know everybody on the train
Mhm.
has some sort of connection to this? Is weird. I still didn't pick up on that they all killed him though.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it made it that anybody. But I was like, that's just weird. Why would it like be a
The
train
whole train,
full of
like,
people?
yeah.
You know.
That's what I thought at first, since it was all related to the case. I'm like, okay, so maybe they're just telling us it really could have been anybody. So that just makes it harder to solve the case.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wait, he did say 12 stab wounds though.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
But then for whatever reason, I immediately threw that out.
Your brain put it together, and then you,
Like,
you just
12
dismissed
stab
it.
wounds. Nah, that can't be it. And then I just kept on going. I don't know why. I'd be a bad detective.
Yeah.
Like the clue is right here. Nah, that's
Like,
too
nah,
easy.
get rid of that. Get out of here. Like, but it's a bloody knife. We don't need that. He was stabbed to death. We don't need it. And you're fired.
So, and then like the clues just all over the place too, which I guess leads to it being all of them.
Everybody, because the clues are all over the place.
Well, the clues that was left behind in the room were left on purpose.
Yeah.
Which it kind of looked that way.
Yeah. Then that's basically to confuse anyone who wasn't. Because remember, he wasn't supposed to be on the train.
Right.
Mhm.
So if he's not on the train, right? Okay, someone dies. They'll be like, oh, the man took off. Like, no one's going to question those 12 people, especially since, a lot of them are like rich and there was like royalty on there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No one's going to look twice at them. So,
True enough.
Yeah.
yeah. So by the time the cops, even if they did figure it out, they'll be long gone and, they're separate directions.
And how do you find people back in those days?
Gotta be kind of
You
hard.
don't.
I get like how they kept finding him.
Yeah, right. Because he said with the baby case, he couldn't help because by the time the letter got to him, it was too late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
that's snail mail for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
It does suck.
Yeah. Now, here is my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's like, you all murdered him. Now, I know they all stabbed him. But at least 9 people are just accessories to murder because he was dead already by then. Like, do you count the 12th stab? Like, he was dead.
Okay, so I was thinking about that. Will all of them go down for murder or conspiracy to commit murder or accessory? I think they can still all go down to murder.
Conspiracy, probably. Conspiracy to commit murder.
I think
You
they
know
can
the
all
real
go down.
talk though? It's whoever had the better lawyers.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's gonna be like, well, they're gonna bring in forensic evidence scientists.
Wait,
and
are we
gather
talking
the
now or are we
evidence.
talking back then?
We're talking now.
Okay.
All right, well.
Yeah, because they gonna study and be like, did his knife wound kill him?
But then how do you know who, besides the one who was obviously left-handed,
Mm-hmm.
how do you know which stab wound is who?
Yeah. Yeah, because
You really
go
don't.
by story.
You really don't. So
Yeah.
what they gonna try to do is
So they all go down?
Yeah, they all
Corey?
go down for it because you can't.
Oh.
You know they all stabbed him. But you can't prove which stab.
somebody
wound
gonna
did
get
the
off
killing.
on the case though.
I mean, you're right about who has the
Yeah.
better
Probably
lawyer.
It's
the
gonna
lady
be
with
who
the
gonna
puppy.
have the better lawyer.
The lady with the puppy.
Yeah. Oh, because she gonna talk and she gonna get off.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
As she didn't go out and say it was Michelle Pfeiffer's plan all along.
I think I know we would all be angry, but I don't know. I feel like it would be a little weird with us all standing in a room, like
Stabbing.
passing a
Just
knife
waiting.
and then just
Yeah.
stabbing.
Yeah, just
someone.
waiting.
Yeah.
By the time it get to me, I'm like, man, I don't even want to anymore.
Nobody stabbed him more than once. It was just
Yeah,
like
everybody just
because I
one
feel like
stab.
if you're all angry because he killed a baby, fair enough.
Mhm,
Yeah.
You know.
mhm.
Enough of it.
I feel like somebody would have stabbed him more than once.
I agree.
How do you hold back?
Especially since because
Yeah, that's
I
what I'm
mean,
thinking. How do?
Mhm.
This was years later, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like everyone's heart wasn't in it, and they agreed to like, yeah, okay, I will kill this man with you. But yeah, I just get there like, I moved
I don't
on.
have to
Yeah.
stab.
I don't have
The
to
one girl
stab
looked
him.
away when she stabbed.
Yeah.
She was like,
No, I'm like, you guys got him. I think
Or
I'll
I think
be
we're good.
fine. I'm like, you killed him. All
or
right.
maybe
Right.
that's the reason why they all had to do it,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
right?
So it's not one person going like, well, I'll turn you in.
Right. If you all
Right.
equally guilty,
Yeah.
Then no one can talk.
Then you can't
Right.
To
get
be
someone
equally
to back
guilty,
out.
you all have to stab at the same time.
in that little room, there's
So we
already
need
too many
12
people in that
knives.
little room.
Even with that's hard to do if it was a big enough
Hard
room.
to coordinate. Like, first of all, we got to get them to sit still for us all to count down from 3, 2, and 1. Then, oh wait, no, he was drugged.
He was drugged.
So
yeah.
that would have been cool.
Yeah.
But who's gonna count?
But see, now because then that's just too much. 12 different knives, unless you bought it from the same set.
Yeah, set of 12 knives. But then some of them knives gonna be bigger. They ain't gonna
That's
be
what
the
I'm
same.
saying. Like, no, you only
Yeah.
get 8 steak knives.
Yeah, then you get that one knife that got the curved end. That's gonna be hard to stab with. Like, you got to slice with that one. So yeah, that will be difficult.
Yeah.
These are things y'all need to think about if y'all ever gonna
Just don't murder
kill somebody
people.
in a group.
Just don't murder people. So I get,
Or don't plan
justice
group
wasn't
murders.
served because they tried to pin the baby's murder on the maid.
Mm-hmm.
She killed herself, so tape cassette got off. So
Tape, 'cause
That's what we're calling them now. Tape
that's
cassette.
his name. So that's the only way I can remember. So he got off. So I get why everybody's angry. Justice wasn't served for the baby, but it's still murder.
Mhm.
And so at the end of the movie, they're trying to say like, oh, the moral of it, and Hercule decides not to turn him in. I mean, and I don't blame him for that. Like, fine,
Mhm.
but to say that the lesson is like, oh, morals aren't great, aren't black and white, which that is true,
Mhm.
but I don't think this highlights it. What they did was still wrong. As much as we can try and justify it, like we get your reasoning for it, blah blah blah. But at the end of the day, murder is murder.
I think it would sit better if this didn't happen years after the fact.
Mhm.
You guys, you really planned this out enough to book an entire car to yourselves.
Yeah.
You knew, it's like you had someone get hired on as his valet, tell you, when he's going to be traveling. You all book the train, make sure no one else is on the train. At that point, it doesn't really become a justifiable murder anymore.
Yeah, this is extremely
Yeah, it's
premeditated.
Very extreme.
Yeah. Yeah, which I mean, like he ruined a lot. It's like he didn't just affect the baby or his parents because the mom died, she was pregnant, that baby dies, the husband can't take it, he
kills
dies,
himself.
the mother becomes, I forgot the name of the word about people who don't leave the house. She became one of those.
A shut-in is a term.
Yeah, that's not. I was
Or
thinking
a
of the-
recluse.
Yeah, that's the word I was thinking of.
Recluse.
She doesn't leave the house. Then her godmother basically loses her family. So all these people get, and you mentioned the maid who got accused because they was like, well, we have to arrest someone. So,
Which happens for real.
which
Yeah,
happens
that
for
does
real.
happen.
Yeah, it does.
Which is also with the Lindenberg because the guy insisted that he was not guilty, but they executed him anyways. And then fast forward to the future is new friends. It's like, oh yeah, maybe that guy wasn't guilty, but too late now.
Way. Can't undo that.
Nah. So yeah, so you see how these 12 people lives basically got upended by this one guy's act.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I get that, but it's just when you go so far down the line, it's just like, did you do a good thing to a bad thing to a bad person, and is that okay?
Right, and that's what you did. You did a bad thing to he's a bad person,
Yeah.
right? No one's sad that he died, right?
Right.
Which I think is what they said.
Which is
Yeah.
like fine, but you still did do a bad thing, right?
Mhm.
Like we can't sit here justifying just killing people, like.
Right.
So I there is gray areas in morals, but I feel like this was still black and white. You still did a bad thing.
Mhm.
You murdered him.
Yeah.
Now, and I don't, and like I said, I'm not even mad at Hercule for covering for them. That's fine. Just don't pretend like the moral of the story is that see, it's not always black and white. Like no, I think this was pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
And plus, with the damage that he did, like, what did y'all really nothing was undone for one thing,
Right,
and
like
justice still wasn't really served because
Yeah, how does that?
how does it help anything?
It doesn't
It
change
doesn't.
your lives at all.
Yeah, don't change nobody's
actually,
life.
yeah, you still lost everything.
Yeah, like does her mother
You
go
didn't
back
even
to being
suffer
an
for
actress?
it. You stabbed him. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure, like I said, he was dead after the second stab, probably.
Yeah.
So he's just dead.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, that's a good question. Like, where do you guys go from here? Because it seems like a lot of you guys you're not killers. A lot of them weren't.
Mhm.
So I feel like now that even changes you more
Mhm.
because now you murder someone. You got to live with that
Yeah,
for the
you
rest of
gotta
your
live
life.
with
And for some of them, that's gonna haunt you.
That's gonna haunt you for the rest of your life. So I really don't think maybe that's also the moral of the story.
You know
Was
what?
it even worth it?
We think that, but in recent times, the number of videos, which was I think 2, but that's still too many, of people who just have had no remorse for killing someone because they were drunk driving is
Oh well, I mean that's
insane.
That's certainly a thing,
It
but I
is.
would still like to think the majority of people aren't killers.
Yeah.
And if you take a life either, purposely or on accident, that affects you.
It should.
Mhm.
So I would like to think that is still true for the majority of the people.
I would hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just losing my faith in humanity.
The one girl was asking if she can get her car back.
Yeah.
Like,
I
do you realize
remember
that you
one.
killed? No, such and such. He was like, so can I get my car back?
So when do I get
Class
my
or
car back?
something.
And she was
Like-
asking when she can go back to school.
Yeah, I'm like, cause you got class. I'm like, do you understand that you ain't
Like,
going
you're not
back to
going
class?
Yeah,
back
you're
to
not.
school.
Yeah, you're
Like you
Right.
killed 2 people. So it was like, I don't know if she was like still drunk at the time
Yeah, maybe.
or what, because she wasn't comprehending the fact
delusional or
that you
something.
killed 2
She's
people.
just
You're
delusional.
going to jail for that. You're not going to see your car or your class again.
Maybe she thinks she's above the law.
It could be.
People do.
People definitely think that.
But yeah, so that was the gist of it. I don't know. I think throughout this, even though I think the story was interesting, I don't know. Like I mentioned before, it was just kind of boring.
It wasn't done well. I think the story is certainly there. I mean, well, I read the book. I liked the book. It just wasn't. And so there is a 1974 version that, according to the internet, is really good. And it got nominated for an Oscar, I believe.
Oh,
And Sean Connery's in it.
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
Yeah.
We have Sean Connery here with us today.
So apparently that version is really good, and that's the version of the movie everyone should watch, and not this one. Apparently,
Okay.
I might have to check that one
Fair
out.
enough.
it's on YouTube for free.
On the YouTube.
It's on YouTube for free. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
All right. Any besides that one, any interesting movie facts?
that was actually not in my movie facts.
I know, but now.
Oh,
it
wow.
is.
Now it is.
Random movie facts.
Movie facts.
So this movie made $350 million off of a $55 million budget.
Oh.
Agatha Christie is very popular.
Yes, she is.
Her stories are very popular. So to make a modern version of this, because I think there was a TV movie, but TV movies don't count.
Mm-hmm.
This is like the first attempt since granted, they her stories a ton since 1974.
Yeah.
So I can see why people will be like, oh, I wonder what they're gonna do with it. Apparently not that great. So
Oh wow.
I mean, they made money off of it, and there was a
they made
sequel
definitely made money.
called Death on the Nile.
Oh well, yeah,
Yeah.
they were hinting to that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That movie got made.
Yeah, it came out
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yeah, it did.
Didn't even hear about
Never
it.
heard about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Really?
It got delayed because of COVID, but it did come
Yeah,
out.
it did come out.
I mean, like I remember this movie coming out. Definitely now, definitely not.
Really?
No, I did not remember hearing about that.
I do.
I'm gonna make y'all watch it.
I thought you were.
Okay. So we're completing this franchise too.
I'll make y'all watch the 1970 versions of this stuff.
I want to
I'll
see the
probably want to
1970
see it.
version
Yeah,
of that.
it's fine.
Yeah. See how
Some
that
old
plays
movies
out.
be good.
Mhm.
All right, we can watch the 1970 version of Death on the Nile. I don't know where we're gonna find it.
Oh
at.
wait, there
Wait.
was a 1970s version.
I
of
believe
Death
so
on the
too.
Nile.
Yeah,
Oh, so there's 1970 version of both of these movies.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
All right, I'll put the 1970
Did
version. of this on
everybody
the
kill
list.
the person?
You can't change the story.
I'm gonna guess.
Oh, you
that-
talking about on Death on the
Definitely
Nile?
now that everybody killed.
I
Everybody
didn't read the
killed
book. I don't know.
No, they didn't. They didn't stop them though. They drowned them.
Ah,
In the Nile.
Like so, everybody held him down.
Yeah, everybody held them down.
Yeah.
In the Nile.
Everybody grabbed
In
a
the
finger.
You said everybody grabbed
a
a finger.
and drug them in.
Well, so then that means that everybody that read Murder on the Orient Express already knew the answer to this movie.
Yes.
That had to make it super
Yeah, they make
boring.
it extra boring.
Yeah.
Like knowing that everybody killed him, like
Yeah.
nah, this wouldn't have been it. This kind of story. I'd be like, I'm not watching this.
And you
It's
gotta.
not
I feel
gonna
like
be
you gotta
interesting.
change something.
I mean, if you were a fan of a story,
Well, I don't think you have to change it, but you have to make it entertaining. Like, okay, I knew who it was because I read the book.
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, it
But
was
it's
clearly
just-
Michelle Pfeiffer's character.
Clearly. But it's like you have to make it entertaining and engaging throughout.
Right.
Mhm.
Because, like, I could watch a movie like Titanic. I mean, I know how it ends, but it still made the story interesting.
Why is that
Cannot
movie
watch.
so much
I
great?
cannot watch Titanic.
God, it's so
Cannot
horrible.
do it.
It's not great.
It's
You said
boring.
what?
Like
I,
good Titanic.
I
Titanic.
cannot watch
Goodness
it.
gracious.
I can't.
But it's like the
watched the
majority of
last hour.
people, I would hope
Oh,
you
when they
know.
die?
You're like, oh, finally. Why did
Not
it
to
take
sound
so
morbid,
long?
but I'm like, that's the favorite part of the movie.
I like when everyone drowns in the ocean.
I'm sick of seeing y'all living.
My point was with Titanic is that I agree with all your points on this movie,
Right.
on that movie, is that 99% of the people, there's probably one person who didn't know that boat was going to sink.
This is based on a true story.
Right.
No, I.
So
I
what's
get
gonna
what you're
happen?
saying.
Yeah,
That, like
it's
even
still
though you
entertaining.
knew that it was gonna sink, it was still entertaining. to
Yeah.
watch,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
What's this idiot that just did not
Right.
know
I'm
that this boat was
I'm
gonna sink?
replaying it in my head, and
This
it's just
feels like
like,
a Family Guy cutaway where like somebody's in the theater is like, "Oh my god, they hit the iceberg!"
they're gonna save them, right?
Well, at least I can be happy knowing Jack and what was her name?
Rose.
Jack and Rose will be together forever.
Like, and then they just cut.
That's right, Jack. She says she'll never let go. She let him go. Sorry.
I don't-
Hey, she started it.
She did start
You
that.
said it's
Yeah, that was all you.
1% of a person that doesn't know how it
No.
ends.
I'm
That
sorry.
was
we
all
can,
you.
We can take a thing and run with it. That was my fault. My bad.
Wait.
Okay. So the Orient Express was a real train.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Just so you guys know.
Did someone get murdered on it?
Yes, actually.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah. A guy murdered a lady, I forgot her name, Maria something, and threw her off the train.
Oh my gosh.
Oh wow.
I don't even know what else to ask now.
Okay.
I'm guessing he got caught since they know that he did it.
Guess his name wasn't Tape Cassette.
Tape cassette.
Is that the third time? Is that the third time? I think so. Three times. All right.
Okay. And so then my last random movie fact is so the book he was reading and laughing at so hysterically. A Tale of Two Cities. The book isn't funny.
I was about
No,
to
it
say,
is
well, when he
not.
was saying he was reading Charles Dickens, I was like, what Charles Dickens story is funny? Like,
None
he's
of them.
cracking up, and I'm like, I don't know any Charles Dickens books that's actually fun. I've read some.
Mhm.
It wasn't funny.
Nope.
Right.
And
the Tale of Two Cities?
Great Expectations, definitely not funny.
Well, no, that's not funny to you.
No.
And that's the first book I thought of when it was like reading Charles Dickens, and I'm
Oliver
like,
Twist is usually the first thing I think of.
I
Ooh, I
forget
do
about
not
Oliver
like that
Twist
story.
sometimes.
No, I didn't like that movie at all.
Oliver Twisty.
Yeah. So yeah, A Tale of Two Cities. I was just like, did we read the same book?
He's just laughing.
Cause
I guess humor is
I guess
I mean, you know,
that's a tough.
Derek liked when everyone drowned in the ocean.
Yeah, true enough. That's his favorite part of the movie. So you never know what somebody's gonna laugh at.
I didn't say I laughed at the end of the movie.
It sounded like you did.
Well, you
No.
enjoyed it. So
Like, look at the band.
Now y'all can't say the dude that hit the railing on the way out.
I don't remember that, but
The orchestra.
no, he hit
when
the
they were
wall.
when they were falling, like because they were still playing, and then they
I
started
gotta say,
falling.
like, if I was part of that band,
that wouldn't have been
I
playing.
would have been gone.
Like, man, y'all tripping. I'm out.
Like, we're gonna play going. I'm like, I'm not the captain.
I'm gonna try to figure out how to get off this
Getting
boat
on a
somehow.
lifeboat.
Rip a door off the wall, something float on that. I don't know.
Also,
Rose
that's
did
why you
figure
don't go
something
on
out.
cruises in the Arctic.
Rose did.
See, if they were in the
There you
Caribbean,
go.
they wouldn't have freeze to death.
Well, it wasn't a leisure. They were trying to get to America. It wasn't just a random trip. They weren't on vacation. They
Yeah,
were
fine.
traveling.
Well, when you're on vacation, you're traveling too.
They had a purpose to this travel.
Maybe don't go through icebergs.
Well, you
They
know,
go
maybe the
around
guy
them.
wasn't sleeping and doing his job
That's
Yeah.
true.
And speeding.
and speeding.
No. Yeah.
Because I'm like, you should be able to see an iceberg soon enough to miss it.
Yeah, to go around
Yeah,
it.
no, the guy literally. Did y'all go to the science center? It had a
Yeah.
whole thing on the Titanic.
Yeah.
It was very
Did I
good.
go? I didn't go to that one.
Oh, it was good.
Oh, you wasn't working there then?
No,
No, it
I
wasn't.
did a lot of stuff. I did the baseball.
Yeah, I
one,
remember
was
the
a good one.
baseball. That
and
was.
then
a
there
good
was
one.
like a science
Oh,
one.
you
that
did
was
work at
there.
the science center. That's right.
Yeah.
Show did.
Yep,
Not
I
bad.
definitely walked in there for free.
Yeah.
I bet you did.
Was I
Yeah.
watching it?
I went there the most times when he worked there.
Well, not because I went to
I
pick
didn't
you
know
up,
you were at all when you worked
but you
there. It
weren't
was free.
ready yet, and so I'm just like, I'm just gonna walk in. And the way it's set up, there's really no one there to stop you.
You can't just walk in.
Even if there was somebody there, I doubt they'd try to stop
No,
you.
like if I was sitting there, I'm not gonna start. I'm like, here, take it.
Like, hey, you can't. All right.
I don't know. You could. I do have a radio. I could radio security.
Well, I don't think they cared. I was just like,
They're like, yeah, we'll get right on it.
I'm just gonna hang out on this him until he's ready. I had a good time.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
fun.
but I like the science center.
Yeah, I do.
Science
too.
That's
It's
cool.
exactly the same.
It is exactly the same. Like, come on, people.
They haven't
No,
added
there's a
anything to
few.
it.
There's a few new things. Like there's like a car building thing, but
Most of it's
that
the
is
same.
old now.
Like,
Like it's new to us, but it's old.
most of it is exactly the same.
And then there's like a
Like,
little.
man, I feel like there's enough in
ball
science for
gravity
y'all
thing.
to be able to.
But I think the gist of it is like, why are you still coming as adults? It's new to the kids that's coming.
well, yeah, I guess to the
Okay,
kids, yeah.
Yeah, but
But-
nothing though.
Yeah, last time I went, I got COVID. So
That was the new thing.
Right.
That's
That was the new
Yeah,
exhibit.
the guests didn't know. We're like, yeah, come on in here. You'll get COVID. Then we'll study that. I don't know.
DJ's the next exhibit.
But they always have that Lego thing. Maybe I should take my kid there. Anyway, we were way off topic. So,
That's all right.
any other movie facts?
No, we're on nitpicks.
Okay,
right.
pick some nits.
Pick some nits.
Y'all do this differently every time.
Well,
What's the fun?
Okay. All right. So in the beginning, he's solving the first case, I guess, to show us how smart he is.
Yeah.
I like Sherlock better. I'm just saying.
I definitely like Sherlock better.
Why would the police chief call him in to consult if you're the guilty man? Like, why'd you even bring
yeah,
it?
right. Why would you?
He's this world famous detective. Why
Did
you
the
call?
police chief call him in?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, because I bet you regret calling me in to help in this case now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, that was dumb.
And then also, they did not show us how did he know it was the cop.
Yeah, they can
probably
say
sent on,
it
like,
was
the
because
tail
of
end
crack
of
in the
that.
wall, but they didn't say.
They didn't
why.
explain it.
They didn't
No.
explain it at all.
That's what I like about Sherlock. It's like after he figures it out, he always goes through.
Well, it was
Like,
And
like
that's
that
what
with-
makes the movie interesting. You're like, all right, you figured it out. How did you
Yeah.
come to this conclusion?
They did a lot on the train too when he's like connecting, like you're her sister. Like, where
how
did
do you know
pull
that?
from?
Yeah.
Like he was making all of these like connections, but like not showing us, for the most part, not for everyone, how he was connecting these people to the Armstrong family and Cassetti.
Why did he even Well, they didn't explain how he knew Ratchet was Cassetti.
That was
Yeah,
from
they
the.
didn't.
That was a real jump, but it's from the letter that was left behind that said, "Do you remember Daisy Armstrong?" He took "Do you remember Daisy Armstrong?" to say he must be Cassetti. Is that a jump? That's a jump.
That's a jump. Just because, like, come on.
Yeah.
Okay. He could have been anyone that knew Daisy Armstrong. Maybe there was another Daisy Armstrong. Somebody else named Daisy Armstrong.
Or he could. I mean, the guy could have a connection to the case without actually
not a
being the
common
actual
name.
guy. So
Armstrong's not a common name? Yes, it is.
Armstrong's
No,
Sounds
but
pretty strong.
Daisy isn't.
Daisy.
I feel like in those times it was. Maybe not
But
today.
a Daisy
But
Armstrong?
Yeah, Daisy Armstrong.
If they're
Okay.
both common, then you can
But
have
my
it
thing
common
is-
enough for there to be at
okay.
least a second person.
That's a big story. Everyone knows it. He could
Mhm.
have had any connection to her. Didn't
Yeah.
mean he was the actual guy.
Just like the rest of the people
True.
on the train.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did feel I was like, how did he know his real name was Cassetti? Did I miss something?
Yeah, it was from the letter.
Hey, well, he was writing that. Like they showed him writing some kind of letter. Why did he write the T at the end of the sentence first, and then go through and write the rest of the letter?
I don't know.
True.
You saw that?
Yeah,
Like,
he
it-
did write the T first.
Yeah, he wrote the T in the period, and then he wrote the rest of the letter, and then he ended with the I and it, because it was the last word.
Yeah.
I'm like, why did he write the T first? And then, I didn't get that.
What if
Yeah, I
you
didn't
don't
get
like space it out correctly so it like
Yeah, right. Like, how did you know?
Right.
Because he ended up right there. I'm like, how do you know that you were gonna? You know what I mean? Like, it was just weird to me. I couldn't let that one go.
Yeah.
Alright.
But you know, yeah, whatever.
So, in the book, Cassetti was actually tried and found not guilty. I believe because he used his money and influence to get off.
okay.
I thought that should have been something
That should have been
they kept.
included. Yeah.
Yeah.
That, I mean, because that's something else, right? Because
Yeah.
now it's like justice wasn't
Was it
served.
served? Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that would have been better if they didn't change that.
I think so.
Yeah.
Um,
So
That way
people like
Cassetti
I'll take
gets-
this in my own hands
Yeah.
because they let him go.
Yeah.
That would have given us a nice.
Because they
Better
could have
background
had
to the
tried to
story.
get the case reopened. Like the
Well,
maid
no.
wasn't found guilty, was she?
No, they just well, basically she got charged, or maybe just a person of interest.
Yeah, so if they found out it was Cassetti, instead of planning to murder him, they could have tried to get the case reopened and find him and try him. I mean, like, it's not impossible.
That is true.
Well, maybe they
Well,
felt
but
like
There's
he
no
would get
statute
off
of
again.
limitation on murder.
there is none. But isn't that what the doctor said, that at first that they were just going to turn him in,
Yeah.
but then they decided to
Oh, it's
kill
not
him?
enough. We have to kill him.
Yeah, he did say that.
Well, see, then again,
That
that
didn't
goes
make
back to
sense.
this wasn't a gray area. It's
Mhm.
just you just murdered him.
Yeah. Okay. So we talked about this a little bit about why they kept leaving the train, even though it was supposed to be like you're in the mountains and like it's
In the
freezing
freezing
cold.
cold. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were outside without coats on half the time.
Without coats, because obviously it wasn't cold on set because there were no breaths or nothing coming from them.
Can we talk about the obvious green screen?
Yeah.
when they were having their tea outside the train.
Yeah, that was.
I was like, yeah, none of that's there.
But it's like, why are y'all having y'all tea outside the train?
Yeah.
Why?
Didn't make any sense. I'm like, y'all just getting cold for no reason.
Right.
You just
Sitting
I didn't
over
get
there
it. I was-
chilly and going to have the sniffles and stuff.
yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Okay. So this guy is a very light sleeper because he kept getting up after every noise he was hearing.
Mhm.
You didn't hear 12 people stabbing a man? Like they had to be making so much noise.
They had to be.
Like in that when the flashback, I'm like, you guys are not being quiet. You didn't hear that? Like I feel like at that point he would have got up, looked outside like he did the other 2 times, and would have seen 12 people leaving this guy's room.
Right. Wow, I got a party over there, huh? Like, no.
Yeah.
How do you like I said?
They drugged him too.
Yeah.
Barbatal.
He kept waking
Barbatal.
up.
I don't
though.
even know what that is. They kept mentioning it. I was like, what is barbatal?
Barbatal.
It is I meant to look it up. It is a real thing.
Well, yeah, I figured.
Yeah. I meant to look it up to like what is the
Yeah, it was
equivalent
like,
to now.
I can't go outside without it. Can't go to sleep without it.
I like girl.
Can't
you
do
can't
this without it. Can't do
function
that without it.
without
Like, you a drug addict.
Right.
Yeah, definitely.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So my last nitpick is his friend. What's his name? Bo, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The one who owned the train company.
Oh yeah.
How come he was never a suspect?
Because he was the only one that wasn't sleeping in that same car. Is that what he said?
Is that because that's right. Everyone else was supposed to be locked in the car. And he was the only
Yeah,
one.
he was the only one
the car.
outside the
Yeah.
car. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, this man could be super guilty. But, okay, you're right.
He always looks suspicious
You're
to
right.
me.
I'll take it back.
He did, but yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot because he gave up his spot so that
Mhm.
the dude could have a place to sleep.
Yeah.
Vets use it. It is a sedative.
Vets use it,
Vets use
so it's
it.
not for humans.
Well, maybe it was back then.
What's the equivalent? Like, I don't know. It's ketamine.
No,
You said Academy?
it ain't cabinet.
Chloroform.
It's not chloroform.
So that
It's
was
hypnotic too.
Oh, okay. So that was my
Interesting.
last nitpick.
Okay.
Okay. I guess we're rating the movie.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
Ooh.
rate it watch while folding clothes just because it was boring.
Agreed.
well,
It's we're gonna watch the old one and then we'll let you guys know which one you should watch instead.
Yeah.
Don't get ahead of us. Wait for us to do it.
We're getting to it. It's on the list now.
Yeah. I give it a watch while folding close too. I had to keep rewinding that spots.
I paused this
because-
movie in the middle and watched a YouTube video and then went back to watch it. Just
Yeah, because it was like I kept feeling like I was zoning out and missed something.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I had to rewind. And then it was a couple of times I did rewind.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, I didn't miss nothing.
I missed nothing.
I was like, oh, I did catch all of this. So
I
yeah.
did that a couple times. I was mad I rewound it. I'm like, I didn't even have to rewind it. Like, I
Yeah.
missed nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Good story, just boring.
Yeah, good story. Just
Executed.
yeah, the execution was.
Mm-hmm.
I was definitely expecting more. Like, it started off promising. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be good. But then
Mm-hmm.
once dude got murdered, it was like,
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting more of that Sherlock vibe, you
Mhm.
know, where he don't have to do the same thing Sherlock does, but where it's like, we're getting the detective's method. I mean, even we mentioned Knives Out,
Mhm.
we kind of get that kind of vibe, right? Like, okay, well, I'm noticing this because you this and that, and this is how this happened,
Yeah.
mm,
and we didn't really get that. We're
Yeah,
just-
like it really should have been how Sherlock was. If no one has watched the PBS show Sherlock, definitty should. Oh,
The movie's not bad either.
it was BBC, but we
BBC.
watched it on PBS.
yeah, BBC.
Hey,
wherever you see it.
Yeah. But because it's like he will say something, and then we'll explain to you how he got to that point, or
Yeah.
they'll show you how he got to that point. In here, they didn't do that. He just makes these logics, and you're just like, oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And or maybe we should have got more time with the characters.
True.
Or something. Just something should have been done better than the way it was done.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because there was really no backstory on anybody. Didn't see them until they got on the train.
Yeah.
And then from there, nobody was really like introduced.
Yeah. Which could be okay if, because like sometimes, it's like, I think we said this last week, it's just, a 2-hour movie, but we're already attached to this character.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If it's done correctly, they're going to be like, oh, I really like that guy. And there was just so many people, which, I mean, there's a lot of people in the book, so you got to have all those people.
Mm.
But there was no one there that I really cared about any.
Mm-hmm.
If they all went to jail, I wouldn't have cared.
Me neither.
So.
Yeah.
We don't know what they have to miss out on because we don't really know who the characters is. I mean, Ratchet was like, once he died, I was like, yeah. He probably deserved that. Seemed like a jerk.
Mm-hmm.
So
He did seem like a jerk.
He was over the top evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely. He was checking out all the girls on the train.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, he one of them dudes. And the one lady said her one of her ex-husband had a face like a turnip. I'm like, I can't really think of an unattractive vegetable. Like I never actually looked at a vegetable, but like, man, that's an ugly vegetable.
Yeah, I don't know. What does that even look like?
A turnip?
A face
Isn't
like
it?
a turnip.
Aren't they pumpkins?
A turnip?
Turnip?
A turnip? No.
Oh,
No,
they
they
look
like the white carrots.
No.
No.
This thing looks like a white radish.
Oh.
So it's in a radish family.
It's a root vegetable.
It is a root.
Yeah, see, you're off base there.
Parsnip.
Pumpkins or squashes.
Is the white carrot.
Oh, right. Parsnip. Yeah.
Parsnips, right.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yes. Does it taste like a carrot?
I refuse to eat
I
it.
ain't
I
gonna
A turnip? Yeah,
I-
I've never had a turnip.
Yeah.
It's like
And
trying to
you're
eat
right.
a plantain. I haven't done
Turnips
that either.
is like a
plantain?
radish.
Plantains
Yeah,
ain't
it looks
bad.
like a
Yeah,
Yeah,
radish.
they're not bad. I know they're not sweet.
Turnips.
No, they're not sweet.
Yeah.
They're like you gotta
Banana.
Pink
cook them
and
in a certain way in order to get some flavor out of them.
Out of what?
A plantain.
Plantain.
You
The
do have to
fake
cook it a
bananas?
certain way.
Yeah. Disappointing banana is what I like to call them.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Like if you just eat a plantain like you eat a banana, you will be unhappy.
I don't
Or you
like
can try
bananas.
plantain chips.
Plantain chips, yeah, could they add some flavor to them?
Yeah.
Like, they
They
salt
put
them
salt
or
on
they-
it or something.
Sometimes they sweet. It
Yeah.
depends.
Or sugar.
But remember when the Africa did that Africa thing? Wait, what?
He even questioned himself on that statement.
What are you
Oh,
saying?
Remember that time at the case they did the Africa thing?
Oh,
And
when they did the yes, at my university they did an African culture thing.
Yeah, they had plantains there.
Yes.
And they were pretty good.
Yes,
He said
that was
you
worded
were-
horribly.
Yeah, you said you remember when Africa did that Africa thing?
I was like,
I mean, I guess they've been doing Africa things since Africa existed.
I don't know what I was trying to say, but my brain was just like, nah, that's not what I meant.
But okay. Well, anyhow, this is our thoughts. I mean, that wasn't our thoughts.
Yeah, forget that last thing.
But those were our thoughts on Orient Express. We'll be checking out the old movie too in the future, I guess, and we'll compare. But other than that, thank you guys for listening. Make sure you follow and comment wherever you listen to your podcast, and we will catch you in the next movie.